I wanted to upload something different today. So I don't know if this is, I'm gonna title this as like a story time, but I don't know if this is gonna be more rambling instead of telling you a story. Anyway, February 5, or yeah, February 5, I had to go to the clinic to do something for school. It was early in the morning. I had to be in the clinic before 8 a.m. So I was out by, 7 o'clock. And I was kind of rushing because I didn't know how the commute was gonna be, because it's been so long since I've commuted at such an early hour. So I just I've already prepared my things. I put them in the paper bag before the night before. So I took it, and I also got my purse, which I've just sewed from old clothes, and I really like how it turned out. So I took it with me. Unfortunately, I put my life savings in that purse a few days ago, and at the time I did remember that I put my life savings, so I knew that my life savings was in that wallet, but I was really rushing that I didn't have the time to like take it out and stash it somewhere. Because I really wanted to take out, it's like, when you have a new thing, you want to use it. So I wanted to use it, so I took it. Unfortunately, when I was already out of the house, I realized that my wallet doesn't fit in my sling bag. So I couldn't put my wallet inside my sling bag. So I just, held on it. So after I paid for the commute, since I really couldn't put it in my bag, I just left it in between my leg and my bag without, it's not like tied to anything, it's just there. I didn't really think anything of it. It's just that I I rarely lose money because I love money so much that I I usually never lose it. And I was also carrying this really heavy paper bag with all my things in it. I had a lot of things going on. Unfortunately, when I dropped off from the jeep, I had this like inkling that something's missing. And then after a few steps, I realized that my wallet, which contained my life savings, wasn't there. Isn't that sad? And I turned back. I saw the jeep. I could still see it. Like it wasn't that far, but it started to like drive off. So I tried to run after it, but it didn't stop for me, and they probably didn't see me. Um, and I was already panicking. My life savings, like all my money, was in that wallet, which I deeply regret. I really regret putting all my money in there. So what I did was I got my stuff, put it in the clinic, and then run back to the terminal and went home. When I went home, I asked, I saw the Jeep like waiting there for, riders. And I asked the driver if he saw my wallet, and he said he didn't. But right after he dropped me off, because I was the last one to be there on the Jeep, um, right after he dropped me off, he got two other passengers. Um, these two passenger was a guy and a girl. The guy sat on where I sat, and the girl sat, you know, at the back. So so it must have been the guy who saw my wallet. So by this time I was already like really I was really sad. Like, can you imagine? I never took out that much money ever in my life. Um when I wrap them, when it reaches a certain amount of money, I wrap it in a paper tape wash kind of tape, and I stash it somewhere, and it never goes out of the house. Let even it never even goes out of the room. It just stays there because I don't have a bank account, and it just stays there. This was the first time I took it out of the house, and this happens. Why? It's really sad. It's really sad. And I couldn't tell my mom that I lost all this money because she'd be furious. Also, it's not really something I really had to tell her. Our relationship really isn't the best to begin with. So for a few days, it felt like I was mourning for someone. I've been saving it since I've been saving it for years, give or take 5 years or more. When I was in high school, I started to sell clothes I didn't want anymore. I started to buy clothes and then sell them. That's how my money first started to grow. And of course, I would never buy something that I just wanted just because. I would buy it like after deciding for a week. Then I would buy the thing if I still wanted it after a week. And now since quarantine, I've never bought anything that I've wanted unless I've wanted them a months. And I remember it, and I decide that I still want it, and I decided that I really want to use it. That's when I buy my shit. But if it's something that, and especially like um a few months since a few months, I've really been trying to save up money because I don't know when we're gonna be able to start going to classes again, and when I can start getting allowances again. So I just really wanted to save it just because you'll never know what happens um, during this quarantine. So I didn't really spend on anything, and now I feel like I should have spent on something at least because it's such a big amount, and I feel like when I lost it, like all these things that I wish I bought was, going inside my head, like, oh, I wish I bought this, or I wish I bought that. There were also a few things that I needed that I held off just because I didn't need them immediately. And now I really wish I bought them. Now I've decided that, you know, after I save up and reach to a certain amount, like let's say 10,000 pesos, I'm not gonna I'm gonna start to, you know, give myself something. I'm gonna start spending on myself, basically, is what I'm saying. Um, but before I reach that money, I'm just gonna, save everything, every penny that I see on the floor. I'm gonna pick it up. Every cent that I see on in the couch, I'm gonna get it, and I'm not gonna spend it. And everything I need, I'm gonna tell my mom, so she's gonna spend it for me. It's just so it feels so bad to have limited myself so much and then just losing the money. I really hope that the money that whoever that guy was who picked it up would use it for, you know, something important like their child's tuition, or or food or something. It would just, be another punch in the gut if they spent it on games or spent it on gambling. But it's a good thing that, like, I can't know what they're spending it on because, how would I know? It wouldn't be so bad if if it was just like my other stash. Because I have three stashes of money. I have one stash for coins. I have one stash for um 10,000 bundles, and I have another stash for cash that hasn't reached 10,000. So unfortunately, I put both cash, I mean both paper stashes in that wallet, and I lost it. It feels so unsettling that I have no money right now. I mean, I do have my coins, but that doesn't really amount to much. It just feels so sad. I keep on remembering, when you break up and you can't seem to stop thinking about your ex. That's what's happening to me. I cannot like forget about it. It keeps on popping up in my head just because I really am. I just really love saving money. I become cheap on things that I can be cheap on. When I buy something online, I always check other shops that might have it for like even a few peso cheaper. That's why it's really annoying how that happened. And on the one day that I ever brought it out of the house, because I never bring that much money outside. Anyway, I'll probably just earn enough to open a savings account, and all my savings I'm just gonna put there. I'm so sad. Um, I guess that's all for me. I've been rambling for too long. That's all I'm gonna say. Thank you for watching, and I'll go now. Bye.